Penny! Penny! Penny!
What's the gist, physicist?
Jim Parsons' persistent door knocking on The Big Bang Theory is known to leave him laughing. Turns out the man behind that show and many other TV comedies did plenty of knocking on doors himself back in the day. He's Chuck Lorre, who Tony Dokoupil tells us takes comedy very seriously.
This is Chuck Lorre Productions?
Chuck Lorre Productions, yep.
If you thought the classic American sitcom was dying,
And this is where you park your car.
This is where I parked my car.
go visit Chuck Lorre on the Warner Brothers lot in Los Angeles. Lorre has all but single-handedly kept the sitcom genre alive, producing some of the biggest hits of the past 3 decades.
Come on, I've seen Steal Your Nerves from a cat on the freeway. That's ridiculous. Bingo!
Stop right here, please.
And that's not even counting what he's got going on now.
Big Bang Theory is stage 25. Stage 20 is Mom. 19 is one of 2 stages for young Sheldon.
Last season, those 3 shows averaged more than 40 million viewers a week. Led by the single most watched series on television, The Big Bang Theory on CBS.
The fundamental problem with elementary quantum mechanical formalism is that the Fourier transform extends to minus infinity in time.
Hey, don't dumb this down for me.
The show, about a group of socially awkward scientists, is in its final season.
This is going to be heartbreaking when we're done. This is just going to be very, very difficult to end this after 12 years.
Smell that? That's the smell of new comic books. Oh, yes.
The Big Bang Theory for me was about people who don't fit in, who want to fit in, who want to participate in life but don't know how. That's a story worth telling.
And that is the secret to Chuck Lorre's success. Don't only try to be funny, try to be honest.
Keep it real. Real family dynamics, real family issues.
Is that it? Yep. It's the most accurate pregnancy test on the market.
Don't tell silly stories.
Which is why perhaps the most successful sitcom creator since Norman Lear in the 1970s hates the word sitcom or situation comedy.
Situation, I think, is the appropriate word if you marry a witch. Or if you come home from being an astronaut and you have a genie with you.
Good morning, Master Darling.
That's a situation, right?
And now, the 66-year-old Lorre has a new show about the one situation we all have in common, getting older.
It's an amazing thing because internally, there's still this 14-year-old looking out of this old face. You walk past a window, a store window, and you go, oh, it's startling.
The Kominsky Method stars Alan Arkin and Michael Douglas as aging Hollywood players. It starts streaming this month on Netflix.
You do not want to be in a sitcom.
What are you talking about? I mean, those little pictures on the Big Bang thing, they're making $1 million a week.
Sandy, it's pablum, it's crap. You're one of the all-time great acting coaches. What's going to look like you doing a network sitcom?
One of the reasons why I wanted to do the Kominsky Method was humor. I love humor. It's not my natural affinity. But for me, I thought, here's an opportunity to work with the best.
And for Lorre, the format feels completely new after decades of filming in front of a live studio audience.
People think that the laughter's canned.
Yeah, no, you turn the cameras around. There's all these seats. There's a couple hundred people that sit here. And when they're not laughing, it's horrifying.
Yeah.
And we rewrite the material, we reshoot it, we do whatever we can.
So how do you trust that a moment that you think is working in your edit room on Kominsky is going to work in people's living room?
That's the word you just used is the whole thing. It's trust. You have to go on faith. This is just a matter of, I like this, I hope you do too. That small window up there on the right was my bedroom. I used to lean out as a teenager and blow the pot smoke outside because I was so clever.
You could say Chuck Lorre's first sitcom took place on New York's Long Island.
A lot happened in 12 years in this house.
Where he grew up with a volatile mother and a father whose business was constantly in danger of failing.
This was reality. You know, this is what I knew.
One person Lorre wishes he knew longer was his father, Robert.
Can I indulge you in a game of catch that we'll call work?
We'll call work?
Yeah.
He died when Lorre was just 24, missing all of his son's success.
I'd give anything to have experienced some of this stuff with my dad.
After his father died, Lorre drifted, spending the next decade as a struggling musician until something had to change for the sake of his children.
There was no alternative other than make money. You must make money. You have children. It's not really an option.
To survive, he took a job selling radios door to door in Los Angeles. One of those doors ended up leading to an animation company.
And I walked in there, and there was a bunch of people working, and I had the temerity to say, hey, this is your lucky day. And I said, I'm a writer. You do comedy? Yes, sometimes. Okay, great. I'm your guy. There's great power in ignorance and naivete. I didn't know I couldn't.
Lorre's career took off.
And I worked on that show, too.
But as some doors opened, others slammed shut. He was fired, pushed out, or quit many of his early jobs. And in 2006, Entertainment Weekly dubbed him the angriest man in television.
No, I think I'm a teddy bear.
You are a teddy bear now, clearly, but that's what I'm trying to get at. What changed? You've mellowed. What happened?
I'm trying. I'm trying to have more perspective, and this is more personal than I really want to get into on CBS Sunday Morning. But fear for me exhibits as anger, because I'm not going to show you fear. I'm going to show you anger, because that's just how I grew up. And that's what you present to the world, and that maybe becomes your reputation.
Lately, though, Lorre has worked to rewrite that reputation. He even says he'd be open to shaking hands with Charlie Sheen, whose bizarre public downfall in 2011 threatened one of Lorre's hits, 2.5 Men.
No, not chicken, just good common sense. Fighting accomplishes nothing.
Oh, I didn't know you were so French.
I'm really proud of what we did. Every once in a while, I'll catch some reruns. The shows hold up. We did good stuff. We had a good time. And it was a horrific thing that happened. But it happened a long time ago. Moving on.
But Chuck Lorre knows that even as he moves on with the Kominsky Method, his new perspective has limits.
I got to stay grateful and not go down the road of whether or not I'm getting my due. That'd be some whiny nonsense if I went down that road.
Will that be your philosophy if people don't tune in to Kominsky?
I'll be heartbroken.